The watershed is pictured here. It actually drains into the Connecticut. And I'll be talking about a post-Irene stream bank restoration project that we did. And I think it's kind of a model for how you can approach river management with resilience in mind. Just a quick overview of what we do. As I mentioned, our goal is to improve the river, and we do that by collecting data to understand what's going on, educating people about what we find, actually implementing on-the-ground projects, and engaging as many volunteers as we possibly can, and helping us do that work. So the project that I'm going to talk about today is at Hurricane Flats Farm in South Royalton. Route 14 is at the top of the picture, River Road is at the bottom of the picture, and this is the post-flood picture. The flood filled the entire valley. The house itself wasn't underwater, but the 5 homes down there at the downstream end were. That's partially why we did this project. This is a picture from River Road looking across the valley east towards Route 14. Not quite during the height of the flood, it got a little higher than that. Johanna's picture actually showed the high water mark, the second slide in her presentation. And so quite a bit of water. This is the very bottom of the watershed. A lot of power in that water, and we'll see the result of that here in a second. So I added to the photo here the post-flood holes that developed on the stream bank that was only protected with riprap, the big pieces of rock that are often put on the face of the bank to protect them. The size of the holes were each about the size of a football field. And again, the river moved through those holes and changed course, that 5-home development would be at risk. Here's a picture of the upstream hole before it was filled. The farmer actually accepted all of those truckloads of debris that were getting scraped off of ball fields and whatnot. Hundreds of truckloads went to fill those holes. Very erosive material, very sandy, would wash away very easily. So instead of putting riprap on the face of that, we just got it kind of like a Band-Aid. We looked to the downstream neighbor who had these huge piles of debris, including lots of whole trees with root systems attached, to think about how we could help stabilize that bank and sort of restore the natural system using natural materials that were free. And what we did was we used a design called a toe wood project. If you think about a bank, head of the bank, toe of the bank, we're trying to stabilize the toe of the bank by using big logs at the scour line. This is sort of looking like downstream. The bank would be on the right. Root wads actually capture soil, and then these soil lifts, coir fabric, held in place by willow machines, stabilize the bank. This is sort of looking down. So scour log at the low elevation, all of those root wads are facing out. All of this is buried 20 feet deep in the bank, and the dead man sort of ties it in. We used all of those free logs to sort of implement this project to restore the bank in these locations. The big machinery took all that silt out. The scour log was placed parallel to the bank. The root wads were placed perpendicular, so the root wads are what's facing out at the end of the project. And then the dead man sort of keys it into the bank. All this is 20 feet down, so you're recreating the structure of the bank. Vermont Youth Conservation Corps crew helped wrap coir fabric around lifts of soil, and then they held them in place with native willow sticks, which will root and hold the soil in place. And then in between each layer, there are 3 layers. They put in ice fenders. This is on the main stem of the white dot of ice, and willow machines. So at the end of the project, it kind of looks like a fort, but this is sort of the structure of a natural stream bank. It lived through a couple of high water events before the vegetation had a chance to get hold, which is what the coir fabric and the ice fenders do. It's giving a chance for that native vegetation to come back. In the spring, we sort of implemented the last piece of the system, which is the riparian trees. Riparian trees grow from the top of the bank back into the adjacent landscape, at least 35 feet. And as those root systems mature, it ties into that structure that you created down below. So again, you're recreating what would happen in a natural system. I don't know if you can tell, before and after on the upstream site, before and after on the downstream site, those willows do really well. And the whole thing captures sediment. So again, it's functioning like a natural stream bank would. And the sites look great. One of the sites you can't even tell if you go down there that it was done. So just some elements of a good project when it comes to watershed stuff. A diverse set of partners. You guys all know this. Really efficient use of resources. We're a nonprofit. We have to raise every dime that we spend. So we got a lot of donated materials and free labor. And this project did lots of things. It didn't just restore the bank, it improved water quality, it improved habitat. So a couple other projects that I'll just highlight. This is in the town of Rochester. that was severely damaged during Irene, and in particular, all the high elevation streams flooded and a lot of their culverts blew out. At the bottom, Mason Brook was Woodlawn Cemetery, and the culvert that failed in the cemetery took out 60 grave sites. Eva was going to put the same culvert back in, same size culvert, severely undersized. That culvert's 11 feet wide, and the stream is 20 feet wide. So we were able to add money to it, put in a bridge, and this is the next culvert upstream. And we used fish money to increase the size of those structures. Buyouts, you guys are all familiar with this. There were 40 plus buyout sites in the White River Watershed, and we helped some towns submit the applications to purchase those sites for landowners and to create open space. And one cool thing that's coming out of it is a network of parks along the river. So this is Rochester. So before and after, you've got this great open space on the river that improves flood resilience, and soon it will also be a recreational access point as well. So you can start Grandel, make your way all the way down to Hartford using these new buyout sites. So silver lining to everything for now. Lots of partners. I'll stop there.